Hey folks, it's Nate coming at you. I know it's been a minute since my last video. So today I wanted to just go over some sort of updates. Things have been happening sort of in the background since my last video posts. So I've been collecting quite a few empty hilts over the last couple of months. I've started to ramp up my collecting a little bit more. The market right now for purchasing sabers has been fairly soft. A lot of folks offering up sabers for sale. A lot more selling than buying has been what I've noticed. And so due to that trend right now, there's a lot of sabers out there in the secondary market at a really reasonable price. If you're the type of person that likes to scout for that really nice deal. Also, I've been fortunate enough to network with a lot of folks over the years. Have some good acquaintances with folks in the saber hobby. And so a lot of times folks will come to me directly if they know they have something for sale that they think I might be interested in. And so anyway, long story short, got a couple of new hilt sets to show you. So this first one, actually, I gotta. This first one I picked up, I think, about 6 weeks ago now. They are slated to go out for install over with my friend Carlos over at Kessel Customs, and these were two hilts that I picked up from Levi Newell over at Star Harbor. Now I did pick up one of his earlier Mark I Revens, I think almost a year ago now, that I demoed, and these two hilts are very similar to that first one, but they're just slightly different. So these I picked up from Levi, I want to say 6 weeks ago now. It's like sometime in mid-April, I think. And these are his Revan Crusader Mark I's. Now one of them is painted here, and they're both weathered. This one was, I believe it's this one, was weathered specifically by Matt Slate, who's a really awesome weathering guy. Does a really good job weathering sabers. This one is also weathered. I think Levi did the weathering on this one, but I'm not exactly sure. So Levi, correct me if I'm wrong about that. I may remove this. May have this paint removed on here. I don't mind it too much, but I think I want to have them sort of a little bit more uniform in look. So I may either get this one painted or I may have this one removed. Not sure which yet. But what I did do on the second part of this was I shipped these over to Rob Sotomayor over at Soroc Sabers, who's kind enough to do some glass eyes for me. And so he did one set of reds and then one set of blues for me, which will go in here. So these will get set in this spot right here, and then the red ones go in here. And I originally got the Levi was kind enough to get me the ID measurements for these holes originally, but because these holes aren't uniform throughout, like they start out wide and then narrow. Rob and I both agreed it would just be better if I sent him the hilt so that he could fashion the settings, the insets, whatever they're called. I forget so that he could fashion them with the saber in hand. So that's the red, and that's the blue. Whoops. And then basically when right before I send these out for install, I'll basically just glue these in. It's from some E6000, just to set them in. And then since these were originally the holes for the powering aux, I'm going to get some new holes drilled in here. It's sort of in the upper part of just below the emitter for the power aux for the chassis that Carlos is going to build for me. So, and then these will likely be installed. I think these carry this is a slimmer ID than like a Saber Trio, for example. So these will likely fit, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to fit 24 millimeter. So these will have Smuggler's Outpost 24 millimeter Elite speakers in them, and they will be installed with the new Profi 3.9 boards. So that's my first set that I acquired. I'm really happy with. Love this design, this sort of slimmed down Revan spike design. I like the tripod rather than the two side by side. I like the three. I think I love this sort of semi grenade on the bottom of the hilt. It's very, very this Saber profile is like right up my alley. I love these types of designs. Second set I managed to pick up, and this was more recent, is in the last couple of weeks, was from my buddy Omar Zavala, who most of you who, if you've bought and sold Sabers on Facebook secondary market, you've probably seen his name all over the place. Very nice guy. He always has lots of interesting stuff for sale. I picked up my original Starfall Ramkoga, that mini Ramkoga that with the brown distressed leather. That was, I think, one of the first Sabers I bought from him. And it's one of my favorite Sabers. I love that Saber. I think to this day he still regrets selling it to me, but he also knows that it found a very good home. So anyway, I finally decided to pick up a set of Satil Shan Sabers. These are Saber Forges. And then I learned a little bit more about these. So these originally were owned by Jason Ketchum, who's also a friend of mine in the Saber market. And he was the one that had the etching design done. So it's sort of an opposite etch on each Saber. Light on dark and then dark on light. Right. Which is really cool. And this is actually one of the reasons why I decided to get these, because I liked the opposing etch designs on this pair. And then Omar offered these up for sale to me for a great price. And yeah, so I couldn't resist. Now, I originally had a Saberforge Grandmaster. It was actually one of the first Sabers I bought directly from Saberforge when I first learned about this whole hobby. I think like my first two Sabers I bought was a Lost Gray from Ultra Sabers, back when I was still learning, didn't know anything about. And I wanted a Sokotano Hilt, and I got Lost Gray from Ultra Sabers, and I got a Grandmaster from Saberforge. Those are my very first two. In fact, I think I still have those demo videos on my channel from way back in early 2020. But I eventually sold that Grandmaster. It was never etched. It was completely clean. But Saberforge had always told me that, yeah, we're going to redo that, and we're going to re-release it as new, but they never did. So I figured no better time like the present to pick up the set, because I always intended on getting the set, which was one of the reasons I felt okay about selling off the single one that I had, because I figured when it came time to get another one, I would just get the set. Well, Omar, thank you very much for these. These are beautiful. These are also going down to Carlos for new Profi board installs. So when these and the Star Harbors are done and installed, definitely we'll see some demo videos on the way with those. And so those are the two sets that I've picked up recently. And I think I mentioned this was another empty that I actually picked up. I picked up a second one of these from the POC store recently to go with the first one that I had installed, but I think I mentioned that on a recent video. I can't remember, but yeah. So I did pick up a second one of these, and this will probably be lower down on the list for install, but sort of in the theme I've been on of sort of pairing up a lot of the sabers that I'm keeping in my collection. I figured I'd pick another one of those up because I suspect that when those finally do go out of stock, because they're not really a high selling saber, they're likely not going to redo them for quite a while. So I figured I should just pick one up now. And they're not terribly expensive. Those hilts empty from the POC store, I think it was somewhere around 200, something like that. But yeah, so those have been the new acquisitions so far. I have also picked up a new hilt that's on its way to me from Bendu Armory, which I'll be doing a demo video for once that arrives. I'm excited about that, along with some additional blades. And then I also recently just made a purchase today, in fact, of another new saber off the market, secondary market, from Brian Hardy, who some of you may or may not know. And once that arrives, that will be a really cool demo video. I think some of you will like this one. It's a MPB Vader Starkiller mashup hilt that he did and installed, and with a crystal chamber, and it is beautiful. So I'll be excited to show that off once that arrives. And then I also picked up a empty EvoFlex, an empty EvoFlex. I've actually managed to find a second one, which is actually getting installed now as we speak. So when that comes back, I will also demo that one too. So it's been a busy couple of months for my saber collecting. I finally picked it back up again. So I'm right back up to around 26, 25 hilts, somewhere in that range. So this is likely where I'm gonna slow it back down a bit, because I'm sort of back up to where I was gonna try and get to once the timing was right. So yeah, so lots of demo videos for new stuff on the will be coming down the pike once a lot of these things get installed, or mod etch work done, etc. So lots more video content to come. All right, y'all, thanks for watching.